Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now.
See this? How you cannot go
Baby,
again?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, thank you guys for showing on up. Come on in, you guys. It is, we're in November. Today's November the 1st, 2024. I got 3 kids that's having birthdays this month. I've got one November the 7th. That'll be next Thursday. One on the 16th. That'll be the third Saturday of the month, and one on the 21st of November, which will be the 4th or the 3rd Thursday. And I also have an anniversary, which I will be working on my anniversary. I will be working. And that's November the 26th. And also, I guess I'm going to be working on Thanksgiving too, which is coming on the 28th. I have 3 family members' birthdays this month. Oh my God, November is not the month for me. I mean, I'm happy that my kids is born and they're doing fine, you guys. But we're going to talk about the Young Thug case. You guys got the info. You got the 411. Young Thug took a plea deal and was rewarded. Well, hold on. Let me tell y'all what happened. So they were trying to have a plea deal with Young Thug, and the state had offered him he could go home that day as long as he confessed that he was the leader of this gang and they were getting notoriety. Like, they just wanted to save face. They wanted to say, yeah, they was right all the time, and he's the leader, and he was calling shots. And he couldn't agree to that. I told you guys, he can't agree to something of that nature, especially if he was not the leader and he wasn't calling shots to have people taken out. They took things and twisted it, and you just never heard things like that. People be like, oh yeah, I offered to do something to somebody. What was Young Thug gonna pay me or whatever? Young Thug is like, I'm thinking to myself, I mean, if he had an opposition or op or whatever, he don't care. He's above that. Anybody that you talking about, he need to take out for what? I mean, if they wasn't taking out Birdman or Lil Wayne or something of that nature, I can, anybody else. I mean, they like. I'm not saying that we, the public, is nobodies, but we don't make a difference in what he does, as far as we can't stop Young Thug from being great. He's gonna be great anyway. And I'm saying great as far as he is connecting with the young people. Our kids, our grandkids. Some, not all, because my kids is his age, and they don't really listen to his music, but some people do. I mean, everybody has a tribe. If you go into any other channel, you be like, how is this person got 50,000 people in their channel? And it's their tribe. Some people get it, some people can connect, and then some people disconnect. And it's okay, and it has a lot to do with now I'm just not talking about YouTube, but it has a lot to do with the algorithm and how much you come on and when you come on. I mean, normally if we come on at 5 o'clock, our group is a much larger because that's prime time. We didn't lose our spot, we just don't use that spot. And I don't think any time in the future we're going to use it, because I really love working third shift, which starts at 6. But I like coming on at 3, and for that reason, we're just going to stay where we're at. I want you guys to listen to what Young Thug said when he took his plea deal. Now, the one good thing about the whole situation is that the judge, he did a plea deal with a no, I can't remember what they call it. They call it a no low, something like a no low. And that's saying, like, I agree to some of the stuff, but I don't agree to that part, or I don't agree to that particular part, or whatever. And so the judge is going to have to come up with the sentence, and if she find that it's truthful or not truthful. But it was weird how the state offered him, oh, you can get 15 years of probation. Only thing you have to do is just tell everybody that you are the king of, you're the kingpin, and you was calling the shots. And Young Thug couldn't do that. So they rolled the dice. Some people know what I'm saying. Or they played their trump card and said, bring it. And Brian Steele did not want to do that. Brian Steele said, hey, we winning. 3 more months, you're going to be home, and you wouldn't have to do anything. And Young Thug was like, no, I want to go home. I want to always share with you guys some information that you're not going to find anywhere else, or you're not going to hear about it, or it is going to make what you hear in these YouTube streets a little bit more chewable, digestible, where you can really grab hold when somebody's talking to you about this case. You'll have a fact that they didn't know, and they can go check it out and they'll find out that it's true. But one other reason why, and I always give y'all these nuggets, that's why they call me SP News Nuggets. But before I give you that little detail, I want to give a shout out to Sanja Watts, Miss Dee Dee, Zan, Zena, Let me see who's up in the building that's speaking. Shirley Stockdale is in the building. And that's all I see right now. There's more, but you guys make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And we need to always continue to say those things. And the channel's growing, but it's only growing like one here, one there, one there. And we got to make up for things, we just got to. But anyway, that one little nugget that I wanted you guys to share, because I told you, and I'm not saying I'm always right, but I told you to write this down. I told you there was going to be a deal for Young Thug. And they was either going to make him last or close to last. But some of those boys probably would not take the deal because the deal was not. You got to think about it. If Shannon is looking, and he tried to help as much as he could, because he could have said something right at the beginning when they was giving deals. He could have been the first, but he didn't do that. He let everybody else go in front of him. Remember, there was 6, then there was 5, and then there was 4, and then they went to Young Thug, which is the number 3. So or the 4th one, because they did 2 in one day. They did Quay and Little Rod at the same time. And remember, they did the other Quay. That's 3. And then they did Young Thug, which make 4. And the only 2 that's left is Yak Gotti and Shannon Steele. And I like Shannon Steele. But remember, Yak Gotti and Shannon Steele was allegedly the ones that drove up to a person by the name of Drinks, and they was at some filling station, and they allegedly followed this person. All 3 cars was at the stoplight. Drake's car was in the middle to the left, and then Shannon's vehicle allegedly supposed to be up to the right of him, and then Yak Gotti's vehicle was to the right of Shannon. And when the light had turned red, they stopped, and then when the light turned green, Shannon's vehicle and Yak Gotti's vehicle continued to proceed, and Drake's vehicle stayed right there. And when people approached the car stayed there. They found that the person that was in the car had been shot in the head, and that person died. You guys didn't know that? Now you know. But the one thing I want to tell you, and some people was like, because at first I was like, oh my God, he's taking, Young Gotti. Not Young Gotti, but Young Thug is taking this plea deal, and it's going to hurt the other 2 guys. But, they're looking at maybe a long time. They want to give Shannon 40 years, and I can't remember how many years they want to give Yak Gotti. I thought they would get a better deal, but they not in agreement. So, the trial would go on with just those 2 defendants. Now, it may look pretty good for them, because when the jurors come back, they're going to say, what happened to all the 4 people? And the main person that you guys said that you guys were after, that was calling these shots, that what everybody would go to, and they say who to take out, where they at? And that's going to start on Monday. So Monday, we're going to see how this court is going to go. But anyway, that nugget that you guys want to hear, that changes the whole situation for Young Thug was, and a lot of people did not know this, but Young Thug had gotten sick, and while he's been in custody for the last almost 3 years. I think it's like 2 years and 7-8 months. But anyway, Young Thug is on dialysis. Did you guys hear what I said? He's on dialysis. And he couldn't even eat right in the prison. He was eating out of a bag. Talking about only thing he could eat is Doritos, because I don't know, the food wasn't good or whatever was going on. But That, that man, do you know, to be on dialysis is crazy. Because I was wondering, like, what's that up there in his stomach while, nobody's never had said anything. But yeah, I hear, and I don't know, I can't confirm it, you guys. But yeah, I heard that, he's on dialysis, and he just wanted to go home to his kids. He's got all these kids, and he promised the judge, and his part of his plea, that he can he is not allowed in the metro part of Atlanta, Georgia, unless there's somebody's graduating, somebody's dying, somebody's having a baby, something of that nature. His father is upset about that because he came from there, and his father's like, he came from, that's like a slap in the face, and he shouldn't, he should be able to come home. This is his home. And I'm like, Young Thug. The minute you thinking I'm doing this to these people, I'm not doing nothing to those people. And I told you guys, and you guys know, when you get to a certain height in your growth, like you're gonna change. You can't run around with the same friends. You can't even be in the same state. It's almost like an addiction. And I know about addiction. Not that I had addiction, but I had a lot of brothers that had addiction, and we got them up out of here. And they were big. They were kingpins. They were big. They was huge. And it's like they don't want people to see them try to kick their habit, because they probably put them on a habit. And you got people that hate you, but you got people that love you. But it's the saddest thing in the world that you can make a lot of money, but a whole bunch of people, even though you give them what they want, and they do whatever they can do to get that money. They do some crazy stuff. They'll cut your whole yard for $1 or $2, wash your car, watch your kids and everything. And you give them a sandwich and a couple of bucks, and you got the cleanest car on the block, and your yard is groomed every time you turn around. But, and I mean, who hasn't did that? I'd rather give my money to somebody. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Hopefully you do the right thing. But you work hard for it, I'm going to give it to you. And I'll probably give you more when you get done. You might ask me, oh, give me $5. I'll cut the whole yard, front yard, and the backyard. Okay, bet. And then when you get done, I'll probably give you 10. But anyway, and that's not because I'm trying to use you, because I could do it myself. But I just believe sometimes, everybody, just like everybody need love, everybody need money too, and maybe contributing that way, that person won't go rob somebody or go steal something or knock somebody off to get a little $5, $10, $12. They made a little money that day. And sometimes you got to look at it that way and quit acting like you're feeding the elephants or something, like they're just going to eat. And, yeah, you're going to see them again and again and again and again and again. But sometimes some people get off. I see it all the time. And if it wasn't true, I wouldn't tell you that. And when you work at these facilities, what do you always see? You see people that was addicts. That had a horrible. I even see CNAs and nurses that used to be addicts, and now they've changed their life. So you might be that particular person that they're never going to come to you and say you're the reason why, but you can have your little part in somebody's life being changed and being nice to them. But anyway, so Young Thug went ahead and did his plea, but his no-low plea, and didn't agree to that he was the king. He didn't agree to that. Let's listen to it, you guys.
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, my crimes, for my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can say all their names, my managers, my kids is not everything and never see you again unless it's I don't think I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. You know, I come from nothing and I made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. For these blacks, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because it made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides, you know. I'm sorry to share, you know, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all gotta pay more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, you know. And I just hope that you find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community. You know, all people. I learned that as the years of my life kind of drugs or anything, I don't know, but I have came to my senses and I understand what I mean to this world. But I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows, and I always did that. You know, I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to some parents. Like for 3 shows, it's $100,000 a piece, and I do things, but I put millions of dollars back into my community for real. I really did. I did more than anybody ever did from my side, you know. But and we rap lyrics, I understand how it can. I understand what it can do to the mind of people. You know, it's just I'm older, I'm grown now, you know, and it's just like I'm smarter. There's more things to rap about. Like I've experienced a lot of good things. I experienced more bad things, but I experienced a lot of good things too. And anyway, I can go.
Okay, that's what he said, you guys. He said that he has experienced a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, but more bad things. He said that he has given millions of dollars to his community. 1.8, he says, 700,000 to breast cancer. And he's done more. He just give it. He's a really good person. He sounds like my son. He sounds like my son. My son speaks like that. Yeah, they get in trouble. And they find themselves in trouble because they want to be friends. And they're just nice to everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. They're just nice. And then, you know, they find themselves in trouble. And they give. And they help people out. And they don't understand how they got themselves in this situation. I say, hey, I'm a very giving person. But sometimes you just got to back away from certain people because they're toxic. They want everything that you have. What you give them is not enough. They want everything. You shouldn't have it. They should have it. They think they look better than you. They talk better than you. They smell better than you. Jeffrey, he went to school, but his last grade that he finished was 9th grade. He still speaks very educated, you guys. Now, he stumbles. But I think, you know, a lot of what he said in this interview was kind of chipped and cut. I remember because I was there when he was speaking. Like, say, for instance, he told the judge he don't want to see her again. If he see her again, hopefully it's in a bar or something. They cut that out of there. You didn't really hear it. He said he didn't know what he was thinking. He was probably on drugs or something. That wasn't in there, but that was said. But he also said, you guys, and you guys gotta understand family. guess what? Thank you for the definition. Woke the God and Miss Didi Nolo, defendants in a criminal case, is neither admitting nor denies the charges against them. Thank you. That's exactly. Thank you. Girl, you should be my co-host. But Pooh Bear said, I'm your co-host, Granny. I'm your co-host. But anyway, I believe that he's going to reside in California. He don't even want, when you done went through heck and high water, they done held this man in Rice Street for 2.5 years with no bond. He don't even want to look at Atlanta. He's like, oh, and y'all want me? In order for you to get me, I'm going to California. I'm going to California. They got 15 years of probation on this man. I told you guys, in order to do 2 years is hard. If you've ever done probation before, you got to call these people like you some kid and be like, I finished school, I got a job, and what are you doing? And it's almost like talking to a psychiatrist or something. You got to say, nothing's going, you got to tell them what's going on in your life. They thinking that you're going to tell on yourself or whatever. Or, and then if you got a really cool probation officer or something, you definitely don't want to go in there and say, well, I got stopped by the police and this happened and that happened. They don't become your friend. Don't ever be friendly with them. And some people be like, oh, my probation officer is cool. No, they're not. They're there to have a job, and 9 times out of 10 they trying to keep their job, and as long as you're on paper, they have a job. So just remember that you getting off paper is really not in the best of their interest. It really not. Now, it would be if they got some kind of package deal that the people that's on probation and they were doing well and they got off probation. Like, say for instance, if I was your probation officer and they say, you know what, you've got 5 clients that's on probation. Now, in each one of your clients, if they walk through their probation and do what they're supposed to do, in each one of your clients, and they get off of probation, we'll give you $1,000. I would be making sure you were in school. And not only just making sure, I'll be making phone calls like, hey, can we get her enrolled? Where's the grants at? And can we get her a little job over here? But other than that, the probation officer just sits there like a bump on the log, like a social worker. Well, I guess they are a social worker, but like a psychiatrist. They don't do anything. They don't tell you where the jobs is. They don't tell you how to get in school. And anything about school, trying to get enrolled in school, whether it's online or it's a face-to-face or hybrid class or whatever, it's complicated. I even make mistakes. I'll be like, okay, I need to get in this class. They be like, oh, you missed it. So this semester right now, I don't even have a class. I'm sitting through a whole semester with no class right now, which I don't need a class. I'm actually waiting on a program, but I would have loved to just be continuing to take a class. And Woke the God, remember we were talking about, the payment, the reimbursement, or the refund that I was supposed to get back in February. Well, they said they sent it to me. I never received it. So the school did call me and say, hey, we got a refund check for you that you never did cash, so we're finna send it to you again. And I'm like, okay, because I didn't get that money. I said, I know y'all lying. Y'all didn't give me no money. Why am I paying back something I didn't get? For real, I am not the one. Now, I ain't going to give it all to them, but I'll give them some of it. I am not even tripping. Anyway, you guys, so Young Thug, I believe he made a good decision. Who all, yeah, Pooh Bear is co-host number one, yeah. Who all believes that Young Thug made the right decision? I know it's just now 3 o'clock, you guys. We're not going to stay on here that long. You know, I told you I definitely don't need nothing longer than an hour, but nevertheless, you know, we're just going to be nipping stuff in the butt. I be wanting to come on sometimes way, way early. Not only to get it done, just because I'm excited and things are moving forward. So, I'm still interested in these last two. I'm hoping that they'll give them a deal that they can digest and take, because Shannon, they wanted to give Shannon 40 years. Now, if Shannon's like 31, 32, let's just round it to the nearest 10th. If he was 30 and get 40 years, when he got out, he would be 70. He'll be getting his Social Security check. And I mean, really, you're looking at it, if I was Shannon, I'll be looking at it like, man, I mean, my life is gone. Whether you give me life in prison or you give me 20 years is better than 40. But you're saying 40? Shoot. 20, he would be 31. I can consider that. I mean, no, he would be, 30, he would be 51. I'm sorry. My not adding up right. He would be 51. Is that great? No, because he done went from middle age to now a senior citizen in prison. And you know good and well, him and his mentality, he's going to get in trouble some more and add on to that. So, if Shannon was probably getting a 10-year sentence, he's already did 2.5 and he has to do 10 years. Let him do that. Now, I'm not saying that this guy named Drinks, life is not worth it, but, and I don't know why whoever did what they did, and I don't know if they have, significant evidence, but I know Yak Gotti in Shannon's case and Little Rod's case made this whole trial horrible. The other three, it really wasn't, as much as they were saying. They knew if they put Little Rod, Shannon, and Yak Gotti in there, and whoever else, that's why they had 26. They started with 26 and ended up with 6. They gave everybody else a deal. But they did not give these two a good deal. Well, they gave them a deal, but it's like, I mean, why would you not go to trial if you're looking at 40 years? Because 40 years is really, life is 25. And I mean, that's better than 100 and something that they were saying with this, because this is what the state do. State get mad at you. They start pinning every little thing. 5 years for this, a year for that, 15 for this, 10 for that, 25 for this, 25 for that, 10 for this, 2 for that, 5 for this, 5 for that. And it added up to 100 and something years. So when they're saying, well, Shannon, you can either have 110 years or we'll give you 40. We'll give you a little bit less than 50%. Shannon's like, even if you you added all that stuff up and said, hey, that's exactly what the stores do. Just like when you go in the stores for sales. Okay, if you went 2 weeks prior, you see that coffee pot was $10. And then you read in the newspaper, Homegrown or whatever is having a sale, 50% sale. You go in there and they say coffee pot half price. But the coffee pot is now priced at $20, so half price is $10. they didn't really give you a deal, right? That's kind of like what the state is doing. They up all these charges and then say, hey, we're giving you a deal. You guys understand what I'm saying? Because you've been in this world long enough and you see it happening all the time when you go to these stores talking about a sale. You better watch that item for like 3-4 months to know that it's really on sale when you go there. Because 9 times out of 10, it's really not on sale. It's regular price. But they done increase the price, and then when you get there, they say, oh, we're going to knock that price off of that or whatever. Anyway, you guys, that's what usually happens. If you ever worked in, wholesale retail, that's what they do, or say we do. Anyway, I'm kind of really happy about Young Thug because he gets to go home. He said he's tired of waking up on a concrete floor, a concrete bed, and living in HE double hockey stick. He ready to go home. Brian Steele was like, let's go. I'm ready to go. Let's go. But you got to remember, Brian Steele is making money. And Brian Steele his name is getting huger by the day. Brian Steele is a good attorney, and Keith Adam is a good attorney too. They was team duo. I'ma just call them team duo. Team duo. They good. They took care of Young Thug. I really believe that they did take care of him. They was in there fighting like it was their child. I was so proud of them so many days watching Brian Steele making motions and arguing with the judge. And you know what? The good thing about it, Brian Steele is one of those attorneys. He wouldn't back down. He was going to jail. And he was like, Judge, if you're going to put me in jail with my client. Man, impact. Impact right there touched the hearts of a lot of people. So now, if anybody get in trouble in the Atlanta area, if they got a little money now, they can hire Brian Steele. Because you're going to need money to hire him. But I guarantee you're going to have a darn good attorney. And if you hire Keith Adam, you're going to have a very good attorney. Also, I seen him making motions and very argumentative. But you got to remember, they both have same weight. But one of them's got to be, just like the police, one of them's got to be good and one of them's got to be bad. That means one of them's got to be argumentative and one of them's got to be, consolable. One that can talk to you, and after everybody get mad, you will see Keith Adam comes up and say, I understand, Judge, and, But Brian still be mad. He be ready to go in. Thank you for sharing, Phyllis. We were talking about Young Thug and his plea deal and how it was a moment in history, him speaking, and he was nervous. You could tell he was nervous. You could tell, I hate to see a grown man cry. I really do. I don't like it at all. And I am going to tell you guys something that I felt. It can be true. It don't have to be true. But I felt like they wanted to break him. And they had broke him basically. You could tell in his voice. He was tired of the bull. He just wanted to go home. And I told you guys, you get in front of them feds and they got the locks on your feet and your hand to the table. The only thing that you gonna be in your mind is, I just want to go home. Like, I just want to go home. You ain't never wanted to go home so bad and just, hey, what can I do to get out of this? How can I change? Do I have to move? I'll do anything to get out of here. He was making deals. He was like, I'm leaving. Like, you ain't gonna have to worry about me no more because I'm leaving this area. And and so he's understanding, and I know his father don't understand quite that he's so huge for him to stay out of trouble for 15 years. He can't be in that same area because he can't affiliate himself with gang members. Now he did make a little thing. He said to the judge that he's got deals with Gunna, so that's in contract. So you know how some people be like, Gunna and him is, they got beef, or Lil Wayne and them, they got beef. I told you guys all the time, 99% of all of that stuff is hype. It's just to get people talking. It's just like Little Woody and everybody, they come in acting like they fighting, and Charleston, whatever his name is, I can't even stand that man anymore. And he sits there and just as ignorant as I don't know what. I'm sorry. I just cannot stand him. I don't want to hear him no more. And hear him for what? He's like talking to a kid. I mean a 5-year-old. I just can't. But people do. They listen to him and smile and grin, and he tell you, how is he dumb and he's making all this money? And we working a full 8, 10, 12-hour shifts to listen to this nut? Girl, not me. I don't know what happened to my juice. But yeah, Charleston White, that's his name. I wasn't really liking the deal, however. I'm so glad he's gone. He's going home. He's home by now. They said he's home by now. And Phyllis, I know you wasn't in here. Hold on. Don't go nowhere, Phyllis. Hold on. Let me get me some juice. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to take my medicine. So, yeah, I had to take. SP Fanny wanted this case to be a big example. And, she did get what she wanted, But, Phyllis, I wanted to share with you, you wasn't in here, when I was telling everybody that they did not know that, here's a nugget for you, that one other reason why Young Thug wanted the plea deal with the no low, he never did agree to. He was the kingpin and he was the shot caller. But he is health-wise in not a good state. He's now is on dialysis and he needs to go home and take care of himself. And a lot of people did not know that he was on dialysis. You understand? Did you hear me, Phyllis? And I didn't know if you knew that, but yeah, his health has been declining since he's been in there. He's gaining all this weight. He was looking good. Color coming to his face. He don't look all black and you know what I'm saying? Like death. Before when he was rapping all in the street, he was so dark. And just, you couldn't even see he had tattoos on his face. He was so dark. And then he looked like a praying mantis. He was just so skinny, just tiny. He looked horrible. He did. I was like, oh my goodness. But I mean, I like kids like that. I like kids that, that he came from nothing. And he's something. Yeah, you didn't know it? Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. So that's one reason why he wanted to take that deal, because his health was declining and they had put him on dialysis. So, yeah, I always try to give y'all a nugget. I always try to give y'all a nugget to know. And his girlfriend, she's so happy he's coming home. But, he's gonna go live in California, I guess, at one of his places. I know. And they knew this. Yeah, they knew this. And I'm hoping that, he's on dialysis. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And the weirdest thing about that is, for him to be 31 and on dialysis, that's crazy. Anyway, you guys, I'll get, even if it's just a small nugget, those things are priceless to know stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here because it's cold, and, I'm in my 15th day of working straight 12s. So, and I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days to go before I'm off. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. And they'll be back in court Monday. You're welcome. They'll be back on court on Monday. We're still going to follow the case. And hopefully, I don't think they're going to give Gotti or Shannon a full suspended sentence. But, I mean, could they give them like 10 years and that would call it good, You know what I'm saying? But I don't think so. The sad thing about these two, that the family don't believe Shannon and Gotti did this to their loved one. And then, the other thing I wanted to share with you guys also, that the state, the prosecution, Simone and Miss Love wanted Jeffrey to do, I guess, like an impact statement. Like, the judge was like, I don't think that's appropriate. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. It's been nice on this case. We're gonna move on to another case, but we are going to shadow the Young Thug case and continue to see what happens to Yak Gotti and Shannon Stillwell. But we're going to take on another case starting Monday. And I will see you guys then. Have a good Friday, you guys. Bye.